Your shower will grow mold again. You can scrub it with bleach today. You can spray it with tea tree oil tomorrow. You can leave the exhaust fan running for an entire hour after every shower. And still, within a few weeks, those black stains creep back into the grout like they were never gone, every single time. Most people think they are cleaning wrong. They think they need stronger chemicals, more scrubbing, more ventilation, more effort. But the truth is much worse. The reason mold keeps coming back is because nothing you are doing actually changes. The surface mold needs to survive. You're fighting the symptom while the environment stays perfect for the invasion to happen again. And hidden inside almost every hardware store is a tiny $5 piece of metal that quietly solves the entire problem for nearly 20 years. No expensive cleaners, no remodeling, no endless scrubbing sessions every weekend. Just one simple strip of metal using a mechanism older than your house itself. And once you understand how it works, you will never look at bathroom mold the same way again. Here's what is actually happening inside your shower every single day. Mold only needs 3 things to grow: moisture, organic material, and a surface it can grip onto. Your bathroom provides all 3 in unlimited supply. The moisture is obvious. Steam coats every surface after every shower. Tiny droplets settle deep into grout lines and corners where air barely moves. The organic material is the invisible layer left behind after every wash. Soap residue, shampoo oils, dead skin cells, conditioner buildup. All of it creates a microscopic food source spread across every tile. And then there's the surface itself. Grout is porous, rough, alkaline, and filled with microscopic pits and cracks that act like anchors for fungal growth. Mold spores floating through the air land on that surface constantly. The second moisture and organic matter appear, they begin growing roots into the grout like tiny invisible hooks. That black discoloration you see is not just sitting on top, it is attached deep into the surface itself. This is why bleach fails every single time. Bleach destroys visible mold. It can whiten the stains, it can temporarily kill surface growth, but the second the bleach evaporates, the grout underneath remains exactly the same. Still porous, still damp, still filled with organic residue, still the perfect environment for spores to return. Within hours, airborne spores settle back onto the surface. Within days, they begin multiplying again. Within weeks, the black stains reappear. The cycle never ends because the actual surface conditions never changed. Every bathroom cleaner sold in stores works the same way. Temporary removal, temporary whitening, temporary results. Nothing about the environment itself becomes hostile to mold. And that is the real problem nobody talks about. What you actually need is something that changes the chemistry of the surface itself, something that prevents spores from surviving before they even begin growing. And one of the oldest, cheapest, and most scientifically validated ways to do that is zinc. Zinc is not just a metal. When water touches it, it releases microscopic ions into the surrounding moisture. Those ions carry a positive electrical charge that is extremely toxic to fungi, algae, bacteria, and mold spores, but at the same concentrations, completely safe for humans and pets. This mechanism has been used for over 100 years in industries most people never notice. Zinc compounds are used in dandruff shampoos because they stop fungal growth on the scalp. Hospitals use zinc-based antimicrobial surfaces because bacteria struggle to survive around zinc ions. And there's another place where this exact system has quietly protected buildings for decades. Look closely at older roofs in humid parts of the southern United States, especially places where algae and mold normally destroy shingles within a few years. Along the top ridge of many roofs, there's a thin metallic strip running horizontally across the peak. Most homeowners never even notice it. That strip is zinc. Every time it rains, water hits the zinc first. As the rainwater flows over the metal, it picks up trace zinc ions and carries them down the roof across every shingle below. Those ions spread into every microscopic crack, every pore, every rough surface where mold and algae would normally take hold. And because mold spores cannot germinate in the presence of zinc ions, the roof stays clean year after year after year. Roofers have known this trick for generations. Entire roofing systems have quietly depended on it for over a century. Most homeowners simply were never told. Now, imagine applying that exact same mechanism to your shower. A small strip of zinc roofing flashing about 1 inch wide and 12 inches long costs around $5 at a hardware store. That tiny strip can completely transform the chemistry inside your shower stall. You hang it near the shower head where water strikes it first before spraying across the walls and tile. Every single shower, water passes over the zinc surface and picks up microscopic zinc ions. Those ions travel with the water onto every tile, every grout line, every corner, every crack. The concentration is so small, you cannot taste it, smell it, or feel it. But biologically, it creates an environment mold struggles to survive in. Spores cannot germinate properly. Fungal roots cannot anchor deeply into the grout. The black slime film that normally appears in damp bathrooms cannot establish itself. And the most shocking part is how slowly zinc dissolves. A single strip releases ions so gradually that it can continue working for nearly 20 years before needing replacement. One install. About 3 minutes of effort, decades of protection. But this is where the system becomes even more powerful, because there is a second mechanism almost nobody combines with zinc. And together, the two create an environment mold practically cannot survive in. Mold thrives within a specific pH range. Most household surfaces sit between a pH of 6 and 7, slightly acidic to neutral, which is exactly where mold grows best. Over time, soap scum buildup and trapped organic residue can make grout lines even more favorable for fungal growth. That is why mold usually appears in grout first before spreading elsewhere. But there is a simple mineral called borax, also known as sodium tetraborate, that changes the chemistry entirely. pH 9.3, mold struggles to survive in conditions above a pH of 9, and a large box costs about $4 and can last for years. Here is how the second layer works. Once a week, mix 2 tablespoons of borax into a spray bottle filled with warm water. Shake until fully dissolved. After the final shower of the day, lightly mist the walls, grout lines, corners, and lower sections of the shower, where moisture usually lingers. Then leave it alone. Do not rinse it away. As the water evaporates, the borax remains behind on the surface as an invisible alkaline barrier. That barrier raises the surface pH above the level mold prefers for survival. Now the system has 2 forms of defense working simultaneously. Zinc ions attack spores suspended in water before they can establish themselves. Borax changes the surface chemistry itself, so mold struggles to grow even if spores land there. One mechanism disrupts the organism directly. The other changes the environment around it. Together they attack mold at every stage of its life cycle. And the crazy part is, there's almost nothing sold in stores that does both for under $10 total. Most cleaning products focus only on killing visible growth after it appears. The system prevents the growth from establishing itself in the first place. That is why people who use this method often notice something strange after a few weeks. The mold stains begin fading on their own without aggressive scrubbing. Areas that constantly turned black start remaining clean longer and longer. Within a couple months, grout that looked permanently stained can begin looking almost new again, not because the mold was repeatedly removed, but because it finally stopped regrowing. The installation itself is unbelievably simple. The zinc strip should be either galvanized, roofing flashing, or pure zinc. Not aluminum, not painted steel, not decorative metal. Actual zinc flashing. You can buy a small strip from almost any roofing supply store or hardware store. Ask specifically for zinc flashing around 1 inch by 12 inches. Bend the top slightly into a hook shape. Hang it directly from the shower head pipe, or attach it above the shower head with a suction hook. The key is positioning it where water contacts the zinc before spraying outward. That is it. No drilling, no adhesives, no plumbing work, no tools beyond maybe a pair of pliers to bend the hook. The entire installation takes about 3 minutes. Then prepare the borax spray. A standard 1-quart spray bottle works perfectly. Fill it with warm water. Add 2 heaping tablespoons of borax powder. Shake thoroughly until dissolved. Once a week, lightly spray the shower walls and especially the lower corners and grout lines where moisture accumulates most heavily. Let it dry overnight naturally. That simple routine creates a long-term hostile environment mold cannot easily survive in, and unlike bleach, nothing harsh is attacking the grout itself. There is no constant chemical erosion, no overpowering fumes, no endless cycle of scrubbing and reappearing stains. There's also one final effect almost nobody expects. The smell disappears, too. That damp, musty odor old bathrooms develop is not actually caused by water itself. It comes from microbial volatile organic compounds, tiny gases released by mold and bacteria as they consume organic matter growing on your walls and grout. When microbial growth slows down, those compounds stop being produced. Within a few weeks, the stale smell begins fading away naturally, not masked by perfumes or artificial fragrances. Eliminated at the source. And the science behind this is not some internet myth or cleaning hack. Zinc ions have been studied for antimicrobial properties for decades. The same mechanism is why zinc lozenges are used during colds. Zinc disrupts microbial metabolism. In your shower, it disrupts fungal survival the exact same way. Tiny concentrations, precise biological interference, long-term prevention instead of endless cleanup. Bathrooms have been cleaned with bleach for over 100 years. And during all that time, mold kept returning because nobody addressed the actual environment. Bleach attacks what you can already see, zinc changes the water itself, borax changes the surface chemistry. Suddenly mold has nowhere comfortable to grow, nothing stable to attach to, and no ideal environment left to survive in. $5, about 3 minutes to install, nearly 20 years of protection. And once you understand what is really happening inside your shower, you realize the solution was never stronger cleaners. The solution was changing the surface before mold ever had a chance.